big wide YouTube universe. Welcome to La Bataille de Moscowa. I am having technical difficulties, so you can only hear me for the moment because my Discord is not functioning. Hopefully, we'll get it to work here and I'll be able to chat with my colleagues. We are at the top of the 7 o'clock hour. We haven't really had too much combat yet. There has been some, um, uh, you know, uh, shooting happening with cannons and whatnot, usually at mid to long range. Um, so we haven't quite closed yet for closer combat. So we'll see where we're at here in just a second. And it looks like Discord's finally working. Let's see if it'll let me join. I'm crossing my fingers here. All right, and why is everything else working properly? Maybe. Hello, hello. All right. Oh, please. Hello.
Halfway. So it would meet it
All right.
3 hexes in,
Hey,
and
Eric.
this unit
Hey,
would charge
gentlemen, how are
2.
you?
Good. We're just going over some uh, examples of cavalry charges that came up in our Wednesday game. So,
Oh,
we were
okay. All right. Well, thank you for
Yeah,
being
you
patient. I, as usual, just got through the door here about 10 minutes ago and then trying to get the stupid computer to work. It had been sleeping for the last 24 hours and decided it wanted to keep napping. So,
it's tired, Eric.
yes. Kind of like me. All
Even
right. Where are you
even
guys
the
at so
Siemens.
I can follow along at home?
So we were talking about some of the mechanics of cavalry reaction charges and how to use defending cavalry units to protect the wings of important artillery batteries.
Okay.
So what
Sure.
we talked about some of the mechanics, which is that heavy cavalry charging in against a battery is a possible way to get rid of it because the heavy cavalry forces a -9 on standing morale, and if it's cuirassier armored cavalry, it's -12.
Okay.
So those are really good ways to try to brush the batteries away. So for the defender, or both sides really, it's very important usually to have reacting cavalry positioned intentionally ahead of time out on the wings of your batteries so that if a charge is attempted, so that you can react and pull off the incoming cavalry.
Okay.
But
I think
we talked about the differences between uh, third edition, fifth edition, where the response to a reaction charge is voluntary, versus Regs 30, where the response is not voluntary. If they react, you must accept the reaction charge halfway.
Right.
I want to set up a couple of weird things just so we're on the same page.
Before we do the weird things, let's talk about optimizing.
Okay.
So, optimization, it's a little cheesy and a little gamey, but nevertheless, because the rules are written the way they are, you want to, like, given that's the edition we're playing, um, you want to look at those rules and figure out, in particular, as the defender, like the attacker already knows, I charge in straight with the heaviest cavalry I can get, I'm going to get that morale benefit, which is likely to disorder the standing artillery. So the defender's like, how do we optimize a defense against that heavy cav attack? And the interesting thing is the optimization, it's pretty cool. Now, let's say that this Dragoon unit, we're charging directly in against that third artillery unit over here. So the optimized defense is to wait for the reacting cavalry to wait until the heavy cavalry arrives in front of the battery, and then declare a reaction charge. And what that requires the heavy cavalry to do is to rotate, to face the reactor, and to pass through the fire zone of the batteries, receiving fire 3 times before
Is that no? Now wait a second. Now is that voluntary movement though? I thought that was involuntary movement. I thought it was involuntary though. It is not. You can't shoot at involuntary movement.
It actually says that that they get opportunity fire moving in front of
the reacting cavalry will receive fire.
No, the charging cavalry receives fire.
Well, okay. Who's charging at what moment? Okay, sorry.
So this is the
so we have reacting cavalry, and then they are reacting to some charging cavalry. And so what I'm saying is, the question is whether or not the cavalry that was originally charging,
that is now reacting back.
That is now reacting, are they subject to opportunity fire? And where is that in the rules? Because I'd like to see that. Because I thought that was involuntary movement, and they would not be.
Well, I mean, you during the charge phase, right? You should be receiving opportunity fire if you move past squares or if you move over a square or whatever.
Yeah, that's a totally different. That's not. I'm talking about the time period though between where we have a successful reaction, and now the 2 units have to turn and face each other and fight it out. I thought that was involuntary movement, and involuntary movement is not subject to opportunity fire, just like there's some other ones too.
Well, that's a good question.
Let's look on page 30 in the rule for opportunity fire.
Thank you.
So it says here, involuntary movement takes place as a result of a melee or fire attack that requires one side to rout or recoil. Right? Cavalry bounce is considered involuntary movement.
Yeah, see, that's another one. That's what I was going to get
to. The moment a unit bounces, recoils, or becomes routed and executes rout movement, this movement is considered involuntary and does not trigger opportunity reactions, regardless of its movement taking it through zones of influence of enemy units. So it looks like it's specifying involuntary movement is just recoil, rout, and cavalry bounce. So anything else...
What page were you on there?
I'm on page 27. This is
27, okay.
13.2. 13.2, involuntary movement. So I mean that answers what involuntary movement is and what it defines it. So any other movement is not considered involuntary. You might not like it, but
developing an optimized defense of those batteries, you basically want your light cavalry responders, your escorts, or interceptors, be not close, but rather far. And you want to wait for the attacker to come right up to the battery, and then you go, now I'm reaction charging. And that forces the attacker to drag himself across the face of the battery. It's a little gamey, but that's how the mechanics in Regs 30 work. So don't be surprised when the defending cavalry, defending the wings of batteries, is arranged that way, because that's how it behaves.
Yeah. Right. And the opportunity fire is halved. So those batteries, for example,
But
this one
they'd be
here,
doubled and then have.
right. Right. So they're going to be what, worth 13
Each.
each, correct, as you move along. So, and then of course you'll still be
There will,
whatever the,
and they get a two column shift for canister in this one.
oh, that's even worse. Oh my God.
So this defensive fire would be 27 points against a flank of that line. That's going to be 27 versus 6. It's 4.5 to 1, 4 to 1, and it's shifted to so that'd be 6 to 1 in this hex.
Right.
Then it's going to be
And
6
one
to
for
1
change,
again.
and also for changing formation, if that had to happen too, for some reason.
Yeah, when it rotated, when it wheeled also. So that's going to take a lot of defensive fire. And so the balance is the heavy cavalry coming direct in. It's extremely powerful because it has that morale effect. But if you set up your intercepting, escorting cavalry correctly on the wings, you can cause a world of hurt against the incoming heavy cavalry. And the heavy cavalry solution to that is to use what we call the can opener, where you would have corps worth of heavy cavalry set up in waves, and you get an MU for the Dragoon Corps that's first, and 8 regiments charge, and they force all the intercepting cavalry to get used. Now you have a second corps of cuirassiers, and the cuirassiers go, and now there's nobody left to intercept them. And so that's a use of the impulses of MU1, MU2, MU3 in different orders, so that you can try to scare off or use up the intercepting cavalry.
Quick questions here. I have a couple questions. I'm going to grab just one unit real quick, and I'm going to move this guy right here, and I'm going to move him clockwise and clockwise. Put him here. Okay. He's in this guy's reaction zone, right?
Yes.
All right. I say, okay, I'm not saying this is ideal, but let's say, well, even let's say here he's in it. And so I say, okay, or even here, right? Or even here. I could say, I charge you, right? And now you have to turn.
The reason you can't launch a reaction charge from that hex is the reacting cavalry is not permitted to turn.
Do I have to, or can I move sideways?
Nope. You have to go out of your front hexes.
Okay, so if I change my formation, if I go,
This is your zone.
okay, hold on, give me a second. Oops.
What if you're
So
on
like
column?
this I can't, because now I can go 1, because this is now like this.
That's right.
That, right?
If you were in a column of companies, you could do that. Yeah.
Mhm. And then you have to meet me over here, and we meet, like
That's
this.
That's right.
And we meet over here.
If you were in column.
And you get blasted. Okay.
And that's because the charge zone of a reacting cavalry unit that's in a column of companies is much broader and more responsive than a charge zone in a line.
Okay. Because that would be, you could actually have the cavalry positioned right behind the artillery, and it would work as well.
If you're in column, yeah. That, of course, it has other complexities, which is that if you were back here in column, you would have to be in column of companies, because if you're in column, you're only in column of companies, and that's a really big, and it's going to occupy 4 hexes.
True that.
And
True that.
that's going to have a hard time responding, but it might work. It might work, but it usually doesn't.
Okay.
So
this could be here in line, also make it work. You can actually be kind of shielded. Right. That would be acceptable.
That's
for
right.
example.
That's right. Now, some examples of why those longer formations have a really broad reaction zone, but if the heavy cavalry does make contact, you're actually only combating with 1/4 of those 14 increments, and the heavy cavalry will stomp you in that melee. So typically the optimal version of the deployment is quite far to the wing, with the battery that you're defending roughly in the center of the reaction zone. Like in this case, there's no dispute that you can come on in. Another issue is that if this heavy cavalry were down here.
Oh, I
and if
guess
you
the
were in
point
a
I was highlighting is that it doesn't require line of sight. You don't have to see what you're reacting to.
Nope.
You know,
Okay, that's the point I was trying to stress, was that the positioning behind the artillery, you're not.
What's the, just out of curiosity, guys, it's been a while, what's the reaction range for light cavalry and for heavy cavalry in regs?
5 and 3.
3 and 5.
So light cavalry has a reaction zone of 5, and heavy has a reaction zone of 3?
Yep.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
and if they're tired, it's cut in half.
Okay.
So
Rounding up or down?
Well, 2 and 3 is
Yeah,
what it is. Not, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So also since we started looking at different formations for these reaction responses, if this Hussar regiment were in a multi-hex line up here, trying to do a reaction, like in a multi-hex line, you definitely have a really good flexible reaction zone, because the reaction zone goes out the flank and everything. But when this regiment here in the multi-hex line tries to react, it pays +1 movement point every other hex, because it's in multi-hex line. So it's going to go 1 to here, 3 to here, 4 to here, and it won't be able to move that extra hex. So typically these defending, escorting, intercepting cavalry units, they're better off deployed in a single hex line, because you want it to only have to pay 1 movement point per hex, so that you can get the maximum range on that response, and most especially so that you can force that guy to pull through all the opportunity fire zone.
So I have a question. I got a question. So when you move from here, you're reacting to the cavalry up north. From here to there, why does this one get to shoot?
Because you were in its opportunity fire, in zone of control.
Yeah, it's in its zone of influence. Now, so
Like
if it,
when you
yeah,
when you leave the zone of control, it fires.
yeah, so it's just that's not any different than any other rule set in La
Yeah,
Bataille.
no, fine.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, in my brain, understand the statement of moving into a zone of influence does not trigger opportunity fire, since movement point expended prior to entering the zone, entering the hex, moving into an opportunity zone charge may trigger an opportunity charge. So for me, I kind of read that as incorrectly. So we're fine.
Well, this is not an opportunity
Rick.
charge. It's a
Yeah.
It's a
the-
reaction.
yeah, it's a reaction
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah, I was reading that. Yeah. I just read it
Also,
wrong.
Rick, quickly, moving into a zone of control does not trigger opportunity fire. Moving
Yeah,
out
but
of
he
the zone,
starts in the zone, so that's why you're getting him. Got it.
that's right, because he's exiting the zone.
Yeah. And that's why this third guy wouldn't get it, because he's not in it. It's just these two.
That's
are
right.
hitting.
He gets it later on, though.
Yeah. Okay. Right on.
Also, just quickly, the facing change didn't cost any movement points, so that doesn't trigger opportunity fire.
Right.
It's only the exiting the hex that triggers.
Okay.
So what you're definitely, in terms of actual application in the game, the Russians tend to use a fair number of artillery batteries, and you very typically will see the Russians setting up light cav and sometimes heavy cav at a medium to far distance off the wings of the batteries, and their purpose is to do these types of reaction charges and drag the incomers across the fire zone. That's their purpose.
Just mean.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how you optimize it in this rule set.
Yeah.
It's a little different in third position.
Luckily, it's not a problem I have to worry about. Have fun with that, Napoleon.
Cool.
Although Napoleon's probably still chilling.
What? Somebody's.
Not me.
Is that Mitch?
Sounded like Mitch was reaching us from
Hello?
under the ocean.
Oh, did you get that memo? He moved. Cool.
So hopefully that was helpful for people. You know, it's just that's
It
an
was.
example of
Yeah. Yeah.
you look at the rules and you're like, okay, the rules are what they are. Like it's a little cheesy, but there they are. So how do you optimize the behavior and the performance given those rules? So that's how you optimize.
And I think that's why you were saying do the checkerboard too, right? So you can have them back and come through those lanes.
Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Because if there's
Now-
no checkerboard, then
Yeah.
then you can't bring them out. You can't make the reaction chart.
So would you wait in that case? Would you wait until he gets adjacent to the infantry unit and then charge into him
Yes.
and make him run through and get hit by the, shots as he reacts through or around those guys? Okay.
Yes, that's correct. Yep. Yeah, you wait.
Okay.
And then you call the reaction at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Also kind of took this as this: we are the Russians, and this is what we're going to do to you.
Well, I do wonder, to your point though, do I try to engage your light cavalry and those guys first with my cav and then come in with that second wave going for the artillery, the heavy cav?
If you're going after a really serious artillery battery, it has to be done very thoughtfully, very systematically, and with a lot of preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you just throw one set of units at it, you're likely to get really badly hurt. It has to be done very thoroughly.
Right. And you have to hope that your chit draw comes in the right order in some cases.
It will.
As the attacker, for example, the reason those can opener attacks are effective is if the attacker is set up in a loose checkerboard, then his attacking cavalry doesn't matter which order the MUs come out in. If the cuirassiers get the MU first, they charge and they take the hits, and the dragoons stomp the battery. But if the dragoon MU is drawn first, they go in, they take the hits, they pull off the escorts, and then the cuirassiers go in second. So it's important for the attacker not to set up in walls of cuirassiers, but rather even cavalry works in a checkerboard so that everybody can move.
Still robocoping.
Yeah, Mitch, your voices, you might want to try and rejoin Discord.
Now, if reacting cavalry, so I declare my charge, he does a reaction charge. He waits till the last moment, so I'll get opportunity fire from, his units. But that's the same for me, right? So if I had moved up units prior to that charge, and as he moves to engage me, if he moves up and through my zones, would I also shoot at him with my infantry if that was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Adjacent? Okay.
And that's why the defenders are going to put a screen of infantry, skirmishers or squares, picket screen, pretty far out front to hold off your infantry. And the cavalry is usually mid depth or deep depth, so they can come out between the squares and skirmishers. And that's why the defensive arrangements are the way they are.
Right. Okay. Cool.
Then if you go and read historical drill manuals, you'll see the Prussians instructing their infantry and cavalry to deploy on the battlefield in a checkerboard with the cavalry in back and the infantry skirmishers up front and the formed battalions in the middle. It's not an accident that those formations work very, very effectively in this game. It's not an accident. It's because it's authentic.
Neat.
All right.
Where are we? We're just figuring out.
So we are at the
leaders
7 o'clock turn.
again.
So we got to figure out who's getting which maneuver units and roll for whatever magical mystery things happen. So we're waiting for Napoleon to roll another 11. That seems to be what he's done now for several turns in a row.
I'm checking my stuff.
Survey says a 23. Oh, yeah, you've broken.
What?
But
That
somebody
is
didn't give him his wine
command.
last night.
There you go. All right, let's do the random event for the Russians. All right, I'll go ahead and throw the dice there for that and see what we get for the Ruski Ducks. A 35, I think that's right middle of the road. Barclay de Tolly in command. 1 command point for the combined army level. All right. That is our
Little
big
breakout.
Yep. We'll go in our separate ways and figure out who's getting which command points and roll for cavalry initiative and all that good stuff.
See the
There we
coalition.
go. French HQ.
That's right. There we go. Greetings,
Hello,
gentlemen.
Brennan. That was
Yeah.
brilliant. Brilliant
Okay.
display.
Not cool.
That was so well laid out. Yeah.
I've been doing it for 35 years.
I have always thought that was involuntary movement, and so it wasn't subject to shooting. It's funny how badly some things can be gotten.
It's totally devastating. And but you look at the heavy cavalry incoming, you're like, how can we possibly stop the cuirassiers? And you're like, well, you can't stop them head to head, but you can stop them like this.
Yeah.
So morale makes a huge difference in terms of the ability to pull that maneuver off right at the last minute so critically.
Yeah,
and the Russian hussars.
Because if you have shitty Russian cavalry of some degree, then it's like, hey, that's a 46 to get that reaction. You might not want to wait till they're like right in front of the guns.
Well, it doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
Well, whether you react
Well, I mean,
early or
because you
react late, it doesn't. If you can't.
Well, no, but you get one shot. So I mean, if you get one shot per hex that you can react in.
Oh,
so, I mean,
really?
every
one
shot
per hex
yeah.
or one per charge?
No, so if you move in the charge zone, you can try to roll. If he continues, you can roll again.
Oh, okay. So
that's
that's
what I'm saying.
different than like with 5th edition, where it's like, you know, it's one reaction for that particular unit for that charge.
Do I have that right, Brendan?
I think it may be per unit, but we can read.
Okay, let me double check that. I mean, we don't have to look at that right now, but let's talk about command and who's going to do stuff.
The escorts, if you're going to use Cossacks for those wing escorts, you need a lot of them so that somebody succeeds. And the other point is, like you said, Mitch, the Russian hussars have very, very good morale, and they're good at that. And that's why, like, they have the high morale for exactly that. That's one of their major battlefield roles, is the battery reaction charging. That's what they're for.
Do we have we have a couple of MUs over here on the side. Do we need to maybe get a few more on the table, or?
Well, we'll figure it out, but
Okay.
I'm going to need a couple for my side of the universe.
Well, let's get the cores labeled first, because those are going to be automatics, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to need the 8th Corps to be active, and so I think they were MU number 1 last time.
Fine.
So let me go ahead and plunk that down on Borodin. If I can find him wherever he's hiding. I think that's him. Nope, that's Galitzin. Where's Borodin? Ah, there he is. Okay. All right. So he is my core that's activated. So that's one of our maneuver units. One of our, 6 maneuver units?
All right, then I'm going to...
Yeah, we have 6.
Yeah. Can I take 2 then? Number 2? That'd be all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to put number 2 on... I'm going to get his name. Let's see if I can get it right this time. Doktorov?
Sounds about right.
That was correct. Yeah, that's how you say it. Yep.
And I'm going to put that in the cup. Oh, no, there it is. Okay, it's on there. It's on number 2. Should we put these in the cup?
Nope, don't drop them in the cup yet. We'll tally them all up first.
Oh, okay, you've got them all laid out there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk for just a quick moment. I'm so sorry, but who does that pick up then for him? Because it gets everybody that's within 6, but it doesn't pick up, for example, well, he's not with that anyway, so it's 10. It's 10 of this guy. Is it 6 of Doktorov or 10?
So
yes,
he's
both.
so he's a wing commander, I believe, and he's a corps commander, correct? He kind of does double duty. So
but wings and corps are the same, right? That's 6.
Yes. So
Okay.
to the infantry, the divisions need to be within 6 of Doktorov. To the corps cavalry and the provisional cavalry, they need to be within 10.
Oh, really?
Well, I'm looking at it here. We've got the
No,
3rd
that's
Reserve Cavalry Corps falls under Doktorov.
was that
Um,
Kreitz?
that's Kreitz, yes.
Oh,
But
so
to
this
be honest with you, I don't think it makes a difference.
so when
Um,
Doctorov activates, Kreitz activates up here
well,
under
Kreitz
Doctorov.
would need
no,
it.
because Doktorov is so I don't know with the
Like
cavalry that
infantry.
it makes a difference because they're still acting independently. I don't think that when you activate Doktorov, you're activating the infantry corps part of it. And the cavalry are a separate, well, they fall
Well,
under
that see
his
that was
wing
see, I
command.
was I was
Yeah,
thinking the other way originally, but now so he can't because even though he's part of the core, he can't activate him as part of the core,
yeah,
That's correct.
as
The
opposed to
core
the other guy having the ability to
two
activate
infantry
himself
divisions.
right.
with
So
an MU.
Miradorovich, that's a different story because he's a wing commander and he's got 2 infantry corps under his belt. So he's then tracing 10 to Bagavou and Tolstoy. So he's helping Barclay get an extra boost in range to reach Bagavou and Tolstoy. While Doktorov, since he's acting as both wing and corps commander, it doesn't matter. He's got to be
Now wait
within
a
10
minute.
of Barclay.
Now, but does when Doctorov activates though, he does activate the provisional cavalry? Is that the Dorokov,
I don't think
No,
so.
no, because
even though he's under him,
he's so
and he doesn't activate the 3rd Cavalry Corps?
nope.
under the wing, but not under the core.
Yeah,
Right, but he's a wing.
he is a wing, but you can't activate a wing in this game. We can activate a corps, so we can activate an infantry corps, but you can't spend 1 command point to activate an entire wing. So that's the difference. So he's just a weird 1 infantry corps wing, while some of the other chaps are multi-infantry corps wing commanders. Where they have multiple.
Doktorov has kind of 2 purposes. His first purpose is to activate is to pass on the distance from Barclay to other corps, and Doktorov is being used to activate 2 of our corps, the 6th Infantry Corps and the 5th Guards Corps. So if you'd like to activate the Guards Corps under Rosen via Doktorov, then Barclay sends a CP to Doktorov, wing commander, and Doktorov has to reach 10 to Rosen. To Lavrov, who is here. So if you want to activate the Guards Corps rather than the Guards Division, you would send a CP from Barclay to Doktorov, then 10 hexes to Lavrov. 2, 4, 6, 7. So you could do that. But you're only allowed to activate, you have 2 CPs, but only one of them can be used for corps activation. The other has to be used for divisional activation. So you can either activate the 6th Corps over here using Doktorov as the corps commander, or you can send the corps CP over to Lavrov, and then we get one divisional.
But Dorokov over here on this stuff that activates as a single MU, right?
That's right. Yes.
Whereas, are you telling me that Kreitz is has to be activated as a single unit?
Single division of cavalry.
And it can't activate under the center wing corps command of Doktorov.
No, it can't. The Russian cavalry is extremely expensive in CP terms to use. because you get 4 units plus its artillery if you spend the CPM. That's all you get. Whereas if you activate the 6th Infantry Corps, you're getting 2 full infantry divisions and all of their artillery. Like, it's a big difference.
Well,
Okay.
although they stipulated in the rules that the cavalry corps are active, they're considered a division, and so you can get everything that's under that corps could be activated at once. So, for example, the provisional cavalry division there, you could activate both brigades if they're within range of the Doktorov cavalry commander. Similarly, with the 2nd Reserve Cavalry Corps that's part of the right wing, Korf can activate if you give him a CP. Both of those 2 cavalry brigades would be activated if they're within range of him. So that's
right.
It's not.
Korf has 4 regiments and 1 battery, and the 4 regiments are organized into 2 brigades.
Right.
So by spending the CP in Korf, you get him, his 2 brigade commanders, his 4 regiments, and 1 artillery battery.
Right.
Could you flash Korf?
He's far north next to the Cossacks.
No, I mean on the chart. Sorry. On the organizational chart.
On the organizational chart. Let's see.
I need to see the hierarchy of what you're talking about.
Let's see if I can find it here.
I'm doing on the.
So
okay.
The 1st Reserve Cavalry Corps, 2nd Reserve
Maybe
Cavalry
6th.
Corps, right? And then Uvarov has got 3 brigades under him, right?
So he's just gotten more stuff than I've got? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And he can activate more of it than I can activate at once?
Yeah,
Well,
the way
Uvarov is the guard cavalry.
So here's what I'm not quite understanding is why doesn't this guy, is he only in charge of these 2 units?
Yes.
Yes.
This man though is in charge of just these 3 units.
He has only 1 brigade plus 1 artillery.
And there's nothing that can activate these 3 units simultaneously.
No.
Nope.
They cannot activate as part of a core activation from him.
Nope.
Okay.
Because when Dokturov has 2 hats. His first hat is wing commander hat. When he puts that on, he just transmits command 10 hexes. But he doesn't.
Yeah. He has extension. He extends command from
Then when he takes
from the
off
army.
wing hat, puts on his core hat, he commands this corps.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give him the core activation, he's going to activate the 7th Infantry Division plus its artillery and the 24th Infantry Division plus its artillery. And if you look at the map, Dokturov is actually positioned correctly to command both of those infantry divisions. That's intentional.
Oh,
Dokturov
sure.
is here.
I was getting my mind around why those forces aren't part of his core activation. You know what I mean? That's what's throwing me a little bit. And
the reason is, in the Russian army, the cavalry is not part of the infantry corps. It's separate. And so it's expensive in CPs to use the cavalry. So we want to get the cavalry set defensively and leave it there, by and large, because it's too expensive to use.
Yep. Set it and forget it.
And its main job early is to get set into those good battery defending wing positions and stay there until mid game, late game. Then you may want to use it offensively, but it's expensive in CP.
Okay, all right.
I'm
gonna ponder the rules a little bit more, but not right now. Let's see. So, in mind of that, do I need to? Does in light of your earlier example, I'm going to move some artillery, right? Do I need to get some horses set up like you're talking about? And
They're
if
already
so,
there. They're
okay.
already there.
Okay, that's why we put them here.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, because they're going to put up in a way that can protect these hexes here.
That's right. Yeah, you can see the blue hussar and the gray hussar with red pants. They already cover the full frontage. Like this guy here can come out through that square through that, over that square, and come all the way out to here. So he's got good coverage, and here's his backup back here. So you're good.
And so we're gonna continue to catch. I mean, move these guns kind of this way.
That's right. Yep.
Got it. Okay, to get into the ideal formation.
One thing that is important is that these infantry battalions, they're part of Dokhturov's corps, but they belong to Kaptsevich's 7th Division. And so these guys here, they have ADCs on them because they're out of range of their division commander. Their division commander's here. And so normally they couldn't move except in regroup. But because Dokhturov is here, he's got 6 range to get to his ADCs. And
his
ADCs
don't need a separate MU.
That's right, because the corps commands the division commanders and all ADCs.
Oh, see, okay, that's cool. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that makes a lot more sense as to how to use the ADCs. Now I get it now.
You use them for the loose endies. So what you got these loose endy battalions they're trying to hustle down to their commander who's down here. They can't get there, except that Dokhturov thought ahead, and he's like, "You're going to need an ADC next turn so that you can go join your commander." So he's here.
Okay, so I got a little problem, and I don't really know how to fix it. There's this gun up in these little fletches.
Yeah,
I think that's mine, and I don't know how to get it out of this situation.
Just leave it there, and when that belongs to the 7th Division.
Yeah, and it didn't limber when they moved.
Just keep trying to limber it. Eventually, it will limber.
Okay, it can limber as part of a kedge.
Yes.
So during the regroup phase, right?
Okay, that's where I was like, okay, but you can't change formation and regroup. And I'm like, what? How do I get it to move? Okay.
Yeah, no, during regroup you can limber.
You can limber.
Okay, so who else needs MUs?
So I need 2 out on the far left. One for the 3rd Division and one for Karpov's cavalry. So I've already grabbed MU numbers 5 and 6 for that purpose. So I've got MU number 1, MU number 5, and MU number 6. So those are
Brennan,
3
Brennan,
of
why don't you take the one?
MUs.
You want to activate this blue cavalry, or you want to activate your other corps?
Platov's blue Cossacks, they rolled initiative and succeeded, so they're number 4.
Oh, okay, good. So maybe activate your other corps?
I normally have 2 MUs. I don't actually need either of them. Eric, if you need even a 4th, you could take it. If you don't really need it, then I can put it to use, but it's not critical.
Okay. Well, I think I'm happy with. I think I'll be able to get the 8th Corps into some sort of position at the end of this turn, so we'll be in a good defensive position, and then I'll give it over to the 7th Corps for future stuff.
What are you using MU to get your cavalry organized around your artillery in the way you want it?
I'll do that next turn. I got to get my infantry sorted out first. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So because the infantry is more efficient DPY.
Yeah. So I'll get the infantry where I want it to be, and then I will. So I've used 3 moves. Mitch, you've used 1 move, so that's 4 of our 6. Do you need to use another one, Mitch?
Oh, that's only 4. Oh gosh.
So we have 2 more. So you could use another one. And then
I think you need 1 for the guard division. You should give 1 to Lavrov because he needs to move that battery.
Lavrov. Okay. Oh, he needs to move the which battery?
That guard battery that's in front. All those guys.
Oh, okay. I get it then. Okay. Let me get the 2 off of here. Delete that. What number should I use for that one then?
You can use number 3, which is just right here. Just go ahead and grab that. So we've got 1, 2, and 3.
And then why don't you take one, Brennan?
And so then we've got 1 left over that Brennan can use to have
I'll
a
use
party.
it for Tolstoy.
Tolstoy. Okay. Cool, cool. All right. I think we got our guys sorted out
That's
here.
number. Which number do I get? Do I get number 4?
You
Number?
could take
6?
number 4, yes.
All right, 4 it is.
Yeah, because
And we're not using
I've got 5 and 6 out on my end of the line there.
Was 15 rolled for somebody like on a independent thing or something?
Yes,
or?
15 was
Yeah, I
rolled
rolled.
for something
I rolled.
independent, and I've got a light cavalry that I'm going to roll for. So that's going to be Vasilik, and I got to roll for him. I got to roll a 2 or less. And a 1. So he passed his initiative. So we'll go ahead and grab another marker. What would be a good one? I will take number 8. Nobody's using 8 right now. We'll clone that. Okay. All right. So he can move.
Here's a quick question. I'm so sorry to bother again. But
Yeah.
If I'm looking at the Second Reserve Cavalry Corps,
Yes.
there's a guy named
That's
Korf, and there's also a guy named Schubert.
Schubert is
Are they
his ADC.
equal? Oh, that's his ADC. Okay.
Okay.
So Korf, if he's
And-
given an MU, then he would activate those 2 plus the cannons.
Yeah, and plus his ADC in case he had a loose endy guy who was out someplace.
And those are guys that are not in my sector. Those are down where Eric is, or is that somebody you have?
The first cav and second cav are my cavalry corps,
Okay.
and they're hedging into sort of organized positions. They have several turns still to go before they get there. They're hedging from
Mhm.
rear.
Okay, and so we can expect the blue guys to have a little fun today
Yes.
up north. And nice. Okay.
Okay.
Are we done?
Yeah. So now what we need to do is, we should have 6 that are our regular ones. We have a 7th one that Brennan rolled for and passed. We have then an 8th one that I rolled for and passed. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maneuver units all together. So we can go
But I
ahead
only
and
see
drop those into the bucket.
I only see 5, 7. I only see 7.
What are you looking at the map
No,
or the
8.
cup?
I can't add. That's all this is. They were arranged funny.
That's how we do it here. That's the Russian way. It's like a nested doll, one inside
Okay.
another, inside another. Okay. All right. We've got
Yeah,
our stuff set.
that's
We
great.
can go see if the French are ready to cross blades with us and start picking stuff up.
They were still in their little command room.
Yeah,
so
we
I'll
can
see
go
them
up to the
lobby.
lobby. That way they know that we're ready. So, all right. Well, that was good. Thanks for presenting that little demonstration of general nastiness with the
Yep.
cavalry.
I mean, the cavalry on the wings of the batteries has been around in La Bataille for a long time, but explaining a little more detail how it's done in Regs 30, I thought was useful.
Yes.
Because we don't want to take them by surprise by having their charging characters dragged across their guards.
Right.
Wouldn't that have been a fun way to teach them the lesson? Let me
Yeah,
teach
but
you
you-
the mechanics of the game with the
Yeah. You don't want to be that sort of
172 point.
game lawyery kind of thing. That's how you piss people off.
Oh yeah, there's like that one French cavalry unit that's got an astronomical number, right?
I mean, most of the French I've got good
Is
morale.
it maybe like over 100? No, I mean in terms of their melee strength.
Oh, probably. There's probably some guard cavalry that's nearly godlike.
That's their nickname, Les Dieux.
Yeah. They got some good
That's
stuff.
the-
It's the
it's quite
chasseurs à
grand,
cheval there, yes.
That's what it was. Yeah, the gods of the battlefield.
They're backed by the Shevardino Redoubt. The Grenadiers have 90.
We
Oh,
probably have a few of them that are pretty bad.
The Russian cuirassiers are really strong. You have them in your group, Mitch. They are center rear next to the icons. You have really good cuirassier regiments up there.
I like
Good
that
9/11
they
or
have no morale.
Yep.
They're just like, oh, you shot us? Oh, we don't care. We're keeping coming. We're still coming.
To the
So,
last man.
yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, today in the Napoleonics class, we were doing the Battle of Albuera. There's a nice little game that White Dog Publishing put out years ago that's brigade level. And it really captures a lot of the nuance of the game, and it's area movement. And I really like it. This is the third year that I've taught it. Most of the kids like it just because you get to roll the dice a lot and kill things. But a few of the kids kind of get the concept of, oh yeah, if I'm in this position, I'm better defended, and kind of using the artillery softens this up, and then the cavalry comes in and charges and forces these guys into square. And then when I come and attack with the infantry, I get a bonus. So a few of them are starting to put the pieces together. But I think we're only going to play it one more day, and then we're going to play diplomacy to kind of wrap up the session. So I say, okay, the map for diplomacy is, I think it's 1910. But I'm like, go ahead and negotiate. Pretend that somebody is friends and whatnot. So I always have a good time. They usually pick on some poor person who is then either very sad, or usually what happens is we don't have enough turns to play for them to get wiped out. So
Diplomacy is so tricky, and then somebody throws an unexpected changing sides, and you're like, oh no.
Yes, which is exactly what I'm trying to encourage them to do. Like, okay, hey, it's the last turn. Go ahead, stab your
Hello.
ally in the back, kind of a thing.
Are you
So-
talking about me again?
Yeah.
Oh,
Stab your
yes, we
ally in
know
the
that
back.
you're going to be, the Davu is going to be defecting. He's Davuovic.
We thought we'd
there.
like mix diplomacy, Boone, and Moscow into one little game.
I
And
hate
not.
diplomacy so much.
Yeah, it's one of those games where you may or may not end up with any friends at the end of the game there.
Play with your enemies and you're good to go. People
Yeah.
don't like it. Fine.
Yeah.
Come here, mother-in-law. I'm going to teach you a game.
Well, I used to, back in the day, back in high school and college, Robert and I would go to, they had some local Straticon or Gen Con or whatever it was that was here in LA and Orange County. And so sometimes I'd be in the diplomacy tournament. And there you're playing people that you've never seen before in your life and you'll never see again.
Mhm.
And so you can be a
Have 'em in the
great
back all
person,
you
or you
want.
could be a terrible person, kind of thing. So I actually did really well. I think I won a diplomacy tournament one year, and I did it because I was playing the Italians, and they kind of had like a handicap thing. So if you like won with a terrible country like the Italians or like the Austrians, then you would get some extra points, as opposed to like winning with the English or winning with the Turks, which are normally do really well. So I think I ended up like coming in second place and getting a gift certificate to go spend at the dealer hall or whatnot. It was kind of fun. So, but it's a good game for the kids in the Napoleonics class to play, because Napoleon is brought down by everybody ganging up on him. And so this is a game that kind of gives you the possibility of people wheeling and dealing and ganging up on people. So
You mean like in real life, huh?
Yeah, kind of like that. I tell kids, oh, it's going to prepare you for for the corporate universe there. So, all right. Well, you guys have got all your stuff down. We got all our stuff down. I guess we can start pulling chits from the cup of fate. So
the suspense is killing me.
the suspense is killing you. Well, then go ahead and pull a chit, Rick. We don't want you to die from suspense.
Oh yeah,
It
number
is
10.
number 10. Where's number 10? French number
In
10.
the middle? Cavalry?
Yeah, it looks like it's Fajol's cavalry or something over here.
I'm
They're
done.
slowly inching their way forward.
Well, that's a power move right there.
That is. That's it. Okay, we concede. That was the one move that we were hoping you wouldn't make. All right, Robert, why don't you go ahead and pull
Terribly.
Okay.
Go ahead and pull a chit. Number 4. Number 4.
Should be
You guys
something
shake the
different.
cup?
4.
No, that's mine.
That's one of
Okay.
yours, way up in the Great White
Ooh,
North.
Borodino, here we go.
Yeah, Borodino. Here we go.
All right.
Do you want me to draw one to see?
Yeah. Go ahead and draw one and see what else, if we get something else somewhere else. French number 7, wherever that might be. Probably the center of the map.
All right. Yep, that's my Nay's Corps.
Okay. I will watch you as you maneuver Nay's Corps then.
Okay. And I'll
Through
move
the
this.
general mayhem of everybody else.
And also these artillery, these Army artillery batteries here are attached to that core.
Hayes Core?
And let's see, let's see, where's Ney? Ney is right
Well,
here.
they're not Army. They say they're 3rd Corps, and isn't he 3rd Corps? So those are already his, aren't they?
There's a battery. Or let's see.
Oh, there's one
They all
under.
say 3rd Corps on them, right?
Yeah, they all do.
Yeah. So they're already his.
Well, we're just making sure he knows.
There you go. Where is Miss Marshal Ney anyway?
Oh, those are those. Mr. Ney is right there.
Okay.
Robert, are you moving the 4th, friend?
And
I'm deciding what to do. I forgot to get out of square. It doesn't cost anything, right?
yes,
+1.
Oh, it is 1.
1 point to change formation.
Okay, so that's 6 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we'll move these guys into the church.
and let's see. All right, so those are
There. Let's.
all right, and now these batteries, those are Army, right? Or those are
I have a quick question on this little
those are young
little
guard.
bad boy here. When you move into the church,
so
It's,
one is Imperial
it's-
Guard, it looks like, and then
It's,
then the others are other guard elements, it looks like.
is there no movement cost for changing the formation because you moved into the church?
You pay for it when you move in. So it costs more to move into special structures and villages or whatever else. Yeah.
Okay,
General
so
order, and there's no formation change cost to go into general order.
was there a movement cost to move into this hex or not? Above and beyond just the 1?
It's going uphill brown, which doesn't cost anything.
And so but moving into the special structure didn't cost anything?
Cost 2.
2.
So how did you get there?
I went 1.
1 to change formation, 2,
1,
3,
2.
4, 5.
Here, David, do you
6,
want to go
7.
down to room
Oh, I
1?
got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So which division of the 3rd Corps did you want to move first?
I'm trying to see where these guys are on the chart because I know that you set in the setup, they're their own setup. There were some guard
Okay.
batteries.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I mean, if you look at them, one is,
but I think they're attachable to the cores is what I'm trying to do. If not, we'll do something else with it. But
well, they are, if they've got a VG, then they are artillery of the guard. If they've got a YG, they are, it looks like they're young guard. So they actually look like they're not a separate, army asset. They're part of the guard, either as guard artillery or associated with the 1st Division of the Young Guard or the 2nd Division of the Young Guard or the 3rd Division of the Young Guard. So usually you would activate them, you'd spend a command point on Drouot, and then he could limber them up and move them around or do something like that. So you'd basically be maneuvering them by as a group of artillery that it's their own, maneuver unit for them.
yeah, it's funny because all right, so they're not available as.
So if you wanted to attach them, you would have to, kind of like what we did at Super Jena, you'd have to have a leader who's, say, an army leader, one of Napoleon's many spare army leaders, stacked with the artillery, and then you could attach them to something else, right? And that's what we did. And then that leader would have to stay stacked with that one battery, because you can only stack one battery per hex. So if you wanted to move the 4 artillery, you'd need to have 4 leaders to then attach it to a division or whatever it is that you wanted to do. But you could do it. You just need some leaders with each battery, and then you could attach it to a particular division.
All right, so if I get 3 other leaders there.
Yeah, and you would do that at the beginning of the command phase. So you would have done that. So when the next leader thing comes up, you move leaders there, and then in the 720 turn, and during the command phase, you could say, I'm attaching this artillery unit to this division of this corps, and this artillery unit to this division of this corps, and then you can make notes on the different units, and then you could do it.
All right. Now I could do one of them right now, because I do have a
right
Drouot there.
Yeah, you got Drouot there, so you could with one of them. Well, I mean, the command phase is already passed. But yes, if you wanted to, we can retroactively let you do that if you want to do it. I'm not going to make a fuss about it.
Where the rubber made to do that? Okay. All right. Yeah, let me figure out what I want to do here.
Can I ask a really depressing question?
Sure, potentially.
Yeah.
Have I totally command guys around him so he doesn't have command of any of his divisions?
No, so the corps commander, so those guys don't block the corps commander's reach, but if there was a divisional commander there, then, so right now the divisional commander, if there was stuff that's Razut couldn't trace through to reach somebody you know, over on this side, for example, because you got stuff, or he can't reach that way because there's stuff there. But Zoot's people are all out here in front of him, I think, so he's okay. But the corps commander isn't
Well, what about this
blocked.
guy?
Which guy?
No, but what about this guy? Foucher, third
Foucher.
corps artillery.
Right. So he's, if we take a look at it there,
Did you see
he
me click
is, yeah.
right here?
So those,
Or even this guy, or even this guy.
so these guys are part of the core assets. And so
Yeah.
therefore, they're within range of Nay. So when the core is activated, they can move. And so that's not going to affect them. So they would be able
So
to
my
move
units
fine.
don't block that.
They're not active reach
So
to
my units aren't
his.
blocking that.
They're not. Yeah. But if it were a case where, say, these guys were artillery that belonged to a specific division,
Okay.
and the divisional commander is over here, then yes, your guys would block them. But that's not the case units, because these are core.
So we only really worry about the division commanders.
You only are worried about the and brigade commanders being able to trace. They can't trace through formations that are not their own. So they couldn't trace through, you know, other corps stuff, or even units
Different
from
division
another
units.
division, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's a good question to ask, Rick. But yeah, the rules are very clear that there doesn't seem to be any issue here with corps leader tracing command through, you know, through other formations. It's only really the divisional leaders. All right. So David, where which divisions were you ready to move, so I can kind of focus in on that?
Let's see. Where do we want to start here?
I stalled as long as I can for you, David. Go.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, your
we'll
10
start
minutes is
with
up.
The,
Yes.
with the 25th.
25th. Okay. Cool.
We'll start up there with the 25th up there. Let's see.
Marchand.
All right.
Trying to prepare myself for Consim World.
Oh yeah.
What's the movement cost? 0, 4, 3.
So
Their general order. And
so brush is going to cost your
Brush is
infantry 2. Woods are going to cost them 3.
yeah, so 1, 2.
Yeah, and the forest is 3.
Yep.
For infantry.
All right. Five, 7, 1, 2, 3, 6, and artillery going up a.
So going up the regular slope is +2 for the artillery. So that's going to cost you 3 to go there. And then
5 brush.
yeah, so they can't make it. But the other thing, David, is there's only one gap through the brush, and it's over here. The artillery can't go into the woods.
Mm-hmm. I'm
So
aware of that.
yeah. And then down the hill is also +2.
4. All right.
So these guys will be out of command next turn.
Well, you got to wait to see where I move my officer to.
Oh, okay. I thought you had moved him here.
No, I took him off that hex, put the
Oh,
artillery
put
in.
the artillery there. Okay. My misunderstanding.
There. That's that over there. All right.
All right. So the 25th is moved. Who's next?
+5 morale. Nasty.
What's +5 morale?
Isn't it Merchant +5?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy good. Although your Cav down south leading the Cossacks is pretty good. He's a 4.
Yep, not bad. Not bad for a Cossack.
He must die.
Where are the rifle armed troops?
Exactly. I need some. So the French never got into rifles, huh?
No.
Was it an ego thing or?
It was probably an expense thing more than anything else. Rifles were sort of a new technology, and they were very expensive.
Mhm.
And the French were having success with their regular skirmishing tactics. You know, they were kind of ahead of the curve with that. So they probably didn't think that they needed to invest much. I think somebody was telling me some sort of story about somebody coming to Napoleon and saying, "Hey, I've got this wonderful rifle, blah blah blah. It can shoot XYZ," and he's like, "Okay, no, thank you. It's how much is it again? No, I'd have to sell Louisiana another time to afford it." So the British had more money, and the Austrians and the Prussians already had people using them. And so, a lot of their Jaegers and their Grenzers and stuff like that were actually people that were. I don't think you can straddle a hex like that, David, because this is general order terrain.
Yeah, they can be in skirmish order in a forest.
Oh, then you need to turn them upside down.
Sorry.
Yeah. I'm just looking at them the way they are. There we go.
Yeah. And what's the stacking?
Sorry, David. I can't distract him enough for you to get away with shenanigans. He's a hawk. He's watching you.
Yeah. So, but you could only have one regiment or 10 or 3 in skirmish. So I don't know that you could have these two guys stacked together. So you could put one of them up in front and then the other guys back there. Right? There we go. That works.
Actually, this one could have made it like there.
Sure. Yeah, they had plenty of movement. They were right there on the edge, so.
Yeah. There. Okay, so that's and brush. Oh, I can still have 3 limbered or 3 unlimbered in brush artillery. Wow.
Yeah, it's considered. It's the same for stacking purposes as clear and cultivated.
All right.
All right,
Next.
so there's the 14th Division of Cavalry moved. Who's next on the roster?
We'll do the 11th or 4th Division. I guess it is. Is that what that is?
No, it's the 11th, Razut's 11th Division of Infantry.
All right. I still got it. Okay. 1, 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. No. Came out of square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back into square.
Sure, beautiful.
Let's see. Okay, I think that's it for that division.
Okay. Let's see, is there anybody left? Oh, you've got your artillery there with Faucher.
Oh, yeah. I've got that, and I've got another division down here.
Ah, okay.
So 1, 2, 3, 4.
So who did you want to move? The artillery or the... Ah, okay.
And that should and let's see, we've got this other.
All right. And we're now with the 10th Division.
Yep.
Okay. These poor, pathetic Portuguese who've gotten drugged all the way from Portugal to Russia. Gotta feel sorry for them.
Yeah, the brown one's there.
Yeah. You left beautiful, sunny Portugal for, and you marched halfway, pretty much all the way across Europe to get there. That's what we call devotion. I wonder how many of those poor sods survived this campaign.
That was gorgeous, guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing fine. We're David's in the process of moving. So are you done moving the infantry division, David?
It was really slick too.
Yeah, I finished moving.
So David, are you done moving the infantry division? Because I saw you just move some cavalry.
Yeah.
So
Yep, I think I'm done with that. Let's see.
Maybe Robert could pull another chit.
Okay.
Nah, because I want to get
15.
That's the Russian Cossacks who have been observing your infantry division. Now they're going to try to start playing cat and mouse with you.
Damn it, no, I don't want to do that. All right. Do that, and these are. Nope, not them. There's another stack of. Ah, there he is. Oh, those shouldn't have been stacked with that. I'll just move them off one there. Actually, let's keep them behind, and they'll let her go over there with an A. And they will end up there. 1, 2, 3. Thanks. Okay, everybody's in command. 1, 2, 6, yes. This guy's got an ADC, so he will end up being in command.
Right. This one here you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, those guys.
Because he's out of range of this guy, but I want him forward
Right.
enough so to keep that guy still in command there. So.
Well, and these guns are potentially out of range too, and these guys are too. So if you can get these guns attached to this, otherwise these are all a separate command, and that will break the while you're within 3, you can't trace through these 2 hexes or that hex or that hex. So just to let you know, David.
Thank you, Eric.
Hey, I try to be helpful.
Well,
if you can't be handsome,
I thought it was
be
personal.
helpful.
You were always helping me. I'm like, why don't you help some other people? No.
I like David, and I'm hoping he'll give me a ride to Gettysburg next year. So I better be nice to him.
Right? Yeah, hopefully I can go again next year.
Yeah, Russian 15 is finished.
Okay.
Who's next?
Do you want me to poll? Somebody else poll?
Yeah, go ahead and pull up shit, Rick.
Oh yeah, Russian 5.
Russian 5. That's not, well, is that one of mine? Let's see. It could be one
I'm
of
2 and
mine.
3.
Let's see here. I got to look around. Yep, it is. It's the 3rd Division out here in the hinterlands. So we need to move some of these poor sods around. These guys are actually in command. They got in command last turn through their stuff. Okay, but 1, 2, 3, those guys are still out of command. Okay. All right, so we've got the guns are going to move these guys. So that's going to be 1, 2, and
What'd you do with Robert? Or is Robert in here?
Yeah.
What'd you do with your moon marker?
Oh, I deleted it. I'm not supposed to delete them?
No, I'm putting them on the along the bottom of the. I can just copy the one that's there.
Okay, I won't delete them anymore. I didn't know.
I'm just putting them here. That tells me who's done and
1,
then
2,
get them
Okay.
ready for the next turn. So
Okay, that division commander has to go back to Napoleon. He's gonna get spanked.
what?
Is that too much?
You didn't-
Go ahead.
Didn't handle it. That was beautiful. I could see Napoleon stop everything. I need just immediately.
Come here, you idiot.
How many freaking times do you have to go over this? You should not delete the meal.
Okay, we have to drink.
Just to
apparently.
please you all, I'll delete some of the enemy units right now.
So who's moving right now?
I'm out here by Utitsa Kurgan. So I'm moving some
Go ahead and draw
of.
another one.
Yep. All right. So 1, 2, 3.
Russians draw one.
Reinforcements.
Do we
Not
have
yet.
any?
Another
Russian
hour.
8.
8.
That's right there. That's probably Eric's also.
Russian 3.
Yeah, 8 is some light cavalry. All right.
Russian 3 is Mitch. Mitch, do you want to move Russian 3?
Yeah, let's take a look at that. Okay, I had a quick question, Brennan.
Yep.
With Russian 3, if we kind of go here with these 3 units
Yeah.
here that we're talking about, right?
Yeah, and the whole guard division behind it.
Do you want me to maintain this orientation, or do you want me to get them into a line?
Their final ideal orientation is 1 battery here, 1 battery here, and 1 battery here.
Oh, okay, so get them in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't prolong across the slope, so you got to slide 1 north.
Oh,
You're
okay.
going to end up. Yeah.
Well, let me see if they were like.
Another
right.
thing you could do is those are guards batteries, so they limber with your Molov. They limber automatically, so you could just limber them.
Oh,
It says 1 through 3 on them.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the command for that?
Control V.
Well, there's 2 that limber automatically and 1 that
1 through
limbers.
4.
Yeah, plus Lavrov,
1 through
plus
4.
your Molov. Plus
Yeah.
Lavrov is a special leader, so it's 1 through 6.
Yeah. So the 2 1 through 4s can do it automatically.
okay. Well, I guess I'll
So
just
they
roll
can
those.
they can automatically limber and move 2 X's and then unlimber if you want.
All right, we're gonna see if we get the other one to do it. 62, is that good enough? I think
So
so.
you got to roll with a single die.
1 die.
Oh, it's a single dice on a round check. 4. Okay. All right. So
yeah.
1, 2.
You know, they actually only move one.
Oh, that's right. You're only 5s. Okay, I was thinking. Normally, artillery moves 6. So
These guys are heavy. So
yeah.
Okay.
you're gonna. It's just the same as prolonging, really. You know, they're fine. That was a good move. And then obviously the leader goes to the center of them as well.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this activated some other things as well, right?
Yeah, he activates all the guards infantry except the guards grenadiers. So that's
And just so hard. That's these guys here. Okay.
they're basically already in pretty good shape. You know.
Do you want me to move them forward just a little bit, or are they just right where they want to be? You mean move that guy forward?
This guy should slide under the brigade commander to get a checkerboard.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
what about that
guy
guy?
should probably you want the checkerboard at all costs, really.
And I'm gonna.
Now you're good.
We'll about face that guy. Okay.
That's Mitch. That's basically our strongest reserve. So you're just kind of waiting to see what happens in what direction before they go anywhere. Yep. And then this guy, he's the guards grenadier division, so he's not active this turn.
Oh, he's not.
He's catching. Yeah, he's the separate grenadier brigade that goes with the guard, but like he's their tail end.
Oh, okay. Do I need to move any of the leader components of this thing? Do I need to move Lavrov at all?
Lavrov is in range of Barclay and Dakhtyrov. He's good. He's fine. They're all fine, I think. Let's see. He needs to drop back 1, so he's still in range of his.
Okay, so Lavrov needs to move back over 1.
Hang on, let's check for brigade leaders. Brigade leader, oh, that's Rosen, not. So you should be good. Where did Rosen go? The leader here, you can pop him to the top of the stack.
I'm watching you, Eric. Go ahead.
Maybe here.
Yeah, I'm done over here.
That's
I think
good.
I've moved everybody who can. So
Is that equally effective, or
we can go back to the cup, and I'll draw something.
We did.
You got 6.
Yeah.
Oh, number
You're
6. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's going to be. Oh, that's going to be
Mitch,
my Cossacks down
Rosen
here.
commands this and this.
Highly trained.
Krapovitsky commands this and this.
All right.
Bistrom commands this.
That's
and
going to be
this.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move some.
So, Mitch, you're probably done pretty much.
Oh, I am so sorry. Yeah.
So we'll pull another chit. I'll pull one.
I'll have.
Eric,
So I'm down
you
here.
six.
I'm doing 6 right now. I gotta.
Next is French 1.
So I'll have these guys move here. That's going to cost 1. And then 3 to change into road formation. And then that's going to be, so that's 4 points so far. 5, 6.
Well, it's 5 points because you collapsed into 1 square, so it's 1 plus, or it's the 3 plus 1.
So when skirmishers change from skirmish into road column in 2 hexes.
Yeah.
So I'm already in 2 hexes. I haven't actually collapsed.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Yeah. So it's going to be 4, right?
Yeah.
And so just imagine that there's a road extension here. I'm not going to bother to put it on the map. I hope you guys forgive me for that. So that's 4. So that's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. And then we can go ahead and change back into skirmish and be in 3 hexes or 2 hexes. So that's going to be 13, 14, 15, 16 puts him there. All right. And this other chap is going to go. That's going to
Is
cost
somebody moving 1?
4. Oh, did you pull Russian number 1?
French 1.
Oh, okay. That's somebody else.
That's Rick. So
Okay.
he's gonna wait.
Yeah,
He's gonna
probably
for
wait.
you.
Yeah. So that's going to be 4. And then changing them into road is going to cost another 3. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then changing him back into skirmish is going to be 13, 14, 15, 16 gets him there. Okay. All right. This chap here is going to go into road. So that's going to, you're saying it costs 3 and then plus 1 more to extend into 2 hexes, or?
It's the hex costs.
Right. So if I'm in road, what's the hex cost? Is it half?
Well, once you're in road, it's half, yes. But to extend the hex into
So I went from a 1 hex unit in column to road column.
right. So you got to extend 1 hex, right?
No, I'm going into road column. I will extend once I'm in road column.
I think you just pay the cost of movement. So if it's half, it's half.
Yeah. So that's going to cost me 3.5 for that hex. That makes it 4 to go there. So then we got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we can go into skirmish. That's going to be then 13. And then 14, 15, 16 gets him there. Let's turn that. Okay. All right. This guy's going to go here. That's going to be 1. And then changing into road is going to be then another 3. So that's going to be 4. So let's get him on the road so it's easier to see. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Change him out. 13, 14, 15, 16 gets him over here, I believe. Actually, yeah, put him there. Okay. All right, so there's that chap, and then there's this guy down here who's still in range. So we'll get him out, put him in road, so that's going to cost 3.5. So then we'll move him forward 1, that's now 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then if we put him into skirmish, that's going to be 13. Whoops. Just keep him the way he was, I guess. And then we can spread him into those 2 hexes. So that's going to be 15 to go there. Okay. All right. And then we got to grab our commander, and we can then move him up the road. 1, 2. So here he is. There's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So he's got a range of 6. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. He's got everybody in his range. Okay. They're done. The Cossacks have done their little thing, their little dance. The Cossackie dance. Okay. All right. Rick.
That'd be the dance of the Cossack?
The dance of the Cossacks. They got their little blades. They're waving them around.
Sounds like something Pekoski would write.
So, you guys can draw another chit. I'll jump down to game room 2 with.
I'll go
Eric
down
and
there
move
with
all
you.
my
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
'cause it's gonna take a minute.
Party time.
Brennan, go ahead.
All right, Rick.
All right. So,
which division do you want to move first?
Go ahead.
Which division did you want to move first? So the Cossacks will interdict you in like these hexes here.
Mm-hmm.
This guy will, kind of thing.
Yep.
And out
Yep.
here as well. So just
Yeah, it's just added movement
Yeah.
points, right?
Yep.
Yep. And then, do they go all the way through brush or just into a hex of brush?
no, the skirmish factor goes into the brush
All the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rick, when you finish with one, then Nathute got pulled. So you can go right on to number 2.
Party
Guys are
time.
killing me. Okay. So, first corps commander, does he move in this phase, or do I wait for the leader phase?
So Davu would move because the core is active. So he
Yeah.
and his ADC and any of his associated
Division
assets,
leader,
you know,
Okay. Artillery,
sappers, artillery, whatever else is attached to the core level would move
Mhm.
during this phase. So probably
Okay.
what you want to do is, move your divisions first and then move him at the very end to make sure that he's got everyone in command, kind of a thing.
Yeah, in this case, I'm going to move him first
Okay,
because
cool.
he has a maximum range. He knows a specific spot he can go to because of Napoleon.
Oh, okay.
And therefore, I probably have to shift everything towards him in the
Okay.
movement to keep him in command.
All right. Well, do your
If
little
that
magic.
makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
Now whether I can actually do it or not, I don't know.
Yeah. So leaders moving through the brush is 1.
One.
Moving through the forest is 2. So
6, 7. All right, so he's gonna. All right, I'll wait. You got me all paranoid now. All right.
you can. So Rick,
Camps guy's
Rick,
gonna move first.
you will.
Go
I
ahead.
will always allow you to shift something around if you need to at the end. So don't
I
panic.
know.
Yeah.
I just want to try.
I'm not one of those. You
not
took
to
your
do that.
finger off the counter,
I
right?
know. But you're enabling me to be lazy.
Well,
all right,
I
so
mean,
I'm gonna
hopefully
go.
the guy. I mean, I think the guys who are going to be playing it at Dresden aren't going to be so persnickety.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
we'll
we're
cut
happy
them some
guys.
slack if they cut us some
Yeah, yeah.
slack, kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
thing.
For
So,
sure. All right, so I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna mispronounce the name. Campons or
Compons. Yep, compons. You
Compons.
got it.
So he's gonna go 2.
Yep. Well, yeah, 2.
Downslope's nothing, right?
Nope,
2,
not for infantry. Yeah.
3, 4.
Yep.
5, 6.
Yep. Perfect.
2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6.
Well, actually, this is more than 2, right?
Hold on, let me go back. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3, but you'd still be able to get there.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 3. This is what you said, right? 3.
Yep,
4,
3,
5, 6, 7.
7. Yep.
2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. Oh my God, get in there. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6. 3, 6. Top. 3, 6. 3, 6. Now that's all of his group, right? It's just
Yep,
all those
they've all
guys.
got the brown pants.
Then I'll just move him.
So right now, everybody is in his command range, so you're
I'll just
good.
move him up a little bit.
Yep.
Okay, and then the next guy will be Friant.
Okay.
Not how you pronounce it.
Yep. Freon is correct.
Now these guys are not skirmishers, or they can go into skirmish mode because they have the symbol, right?
So yeah, so these guys with the blue pants and the blue tops can go into
Yeah.
skirmish mode. Yeah.
But they don't get the skirmish movement. They're still
No, because only infantry skirmishers in companies do. So
Okay.
they're a battalion of light infantry, so they would still move at the same rate as regular infantry.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it costs 1 to change formation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. So is there any reason why I shouldn't go next to your light cav?
I just don't know
skirmish
that you have
mode?
enough movement to, because this is going to cost you. So
2, 4, 6.
So based on what David was saying, right? If these guys change into skirmish mode, it costs 1, but because you're expanding into a second hex, it costs the movement cost for that. So it would cost you 3 for those guys to go into 2 hexes of skirmish, right? And so then that's going to
I
cost
guess.
you
Maybe.
5, and then going into this hex is going to cost you another 4, so that's going to be 9. So you
Okay.
can't. You could get there, but you couldn't get any. You couldn't get adjacent to me
Yeah.
this turn.
So I can go 2 plus 4, 6 to there, right?
Yep.
2 up, 2, 4, 4. That's really it. 4.
Yeah, it cost you 8 to go there, so you don't quite have the
4,
movement to get there.
5, 6, I guess. And swamp is 3.
Swamp is 3. Yes. Marsh and forest are the same.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that all these guys?
He's second.
Oh,
So
the
he's
ones with the
second
2
core. So anything that's got a 2. So these guys
top
are.
left.
These guys are. These guys are.
Yeah. So that little group there. Okay,
yeah.
the 33rd and the 48th. Okay.
Yeah. Now these guys can't move into the
Swamp.
marsh. They'd have to break down into battalions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So 2, 4, 5, 6.
Well, no,
1,
that's
2.
going to
Nope, has
cost.
to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I can move these guys now, right? The sappers.
Yeah.
Even though they're not part of that.
They're
division per
within
se.
6 of their
Yep.
core leader. So yeah, they can move.
Even though I'm not done finishing moving the division, or should I finish moving the division then move the sapper?
I would say finish moving the division, and then you can move the sapper around. I
Okay.
mean, the sapper can move anytime, but because he's a core asset, you can move him anytime.
5, 6. Yeah, just to keep your brain in the right place and not miss move stuff. Just finish each division to keep it clean.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's all of that division.
Okay, you still have. I think these 2
I have
guys are
somebody?
part of it too.
Oh, they're part of it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
those poor Spanish guys who got drug out all the way across Europe to fight in Russia as well.
Should I just send him in the swamp? Here, enjoy this.
They probably enjoy that.
2, 4, 6. All right, there's probably some artillery. Let's look for the artillery.
Let's see the artillery.
Is it
Well, it's
this
here.
guy?
It's out of command.
Yeah, he's out of command.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that it? Just the one, right?
Well, and then you've got this. Who do they belong to? They belong to Desai.
Yeah, Desai.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, so just that one. Okay. And now let's see. Do I want to move the leader? 1, 2, 3. I think I will move. Oh, no, I can't really move him. Oh wait, he's the 14th. He's not part of that group. Could probably move him there. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'll move him over to there.
Okay.
So I think I'm done with those guys.
All right. So then you got the 4th Division here with Desai.
Yeah, and that's just a. Oh, here, let me move the sappers real quick.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the sappers don't do you any good here. There's no special structures. There's nothing to build or destroy.
I just like to say, I'm a sapper. 2, 4.
There you go.
6. Well, he has. Can I attach him to Friot's division next turn?
Yeah, you could. So during the command phase, just make note that, in the little note section, say he's attached to the 2nd Division.
Okay.
And that way, whenever you move Friot, you can move him.
Okay. All right, I'll do that. Just to keep it easy for me.
Exactly. It's all about customer service here.
You're the best. All right, 2, 4. So that'd be 4.
So who's moving where?
He can move. Well, I'm not moving anything yet, but I'm moving the 4th Division. And I was looking at the 85th.
Right, so it'll cost you 3 to move there because it's the an extra +2 for that hex. So it costs you 3 to move there, and then another 3 to move there. So it costs you 6, and you could get that far.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, so 3 to there, and then 4 to move adjacent to you?
Yeah, because it's a +3 to move adjacent. So you cost 3, and then it would be 4 to go into that hex. So it's 7 points. You could get the guy right there next to these guys. You'd basically move 2 hexes and spend 7 points.
What do I gain by doing that?
Well, you get the potential of shooting at me.
Well, you can reaction move if you wanted to, right?
Yes, I can. And
if
I'd
you
have to look it up because I haven't done anything with Cossack or with skirmish cavalry and regs. But normally, during the fire phase, I can do my fire and then I could pull back so you couldn't fire at me. But I don't know in regs if that's the case. I know that's the case in 5th edition and in Premier, but I'm not sure if that's also the case in regs. Right. But, if you're trying to push me back, that's one way to get me to move back a little bit, right?
Yeah, but I feel you're tricking me. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start moving. Fuck it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. 3, 7.
Okay.
1, 2. Does his skirmish extend through my hex?
So, yeah. Yeah, the skirmish extends out.
So
Okay.
it's not blocked by your unit.
Okay, 5. So I say there's 1, 2, and then 3 to go into that hex.
Yeah.
So that's 5. So he's pretty much done.
Yep.
This guy's gonna go 5, 10,
Mm-hmm.
and then this guy. He's just gonna be out of command, isn't he? 3, 3, 3. I think I will move him to there. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
And then I have just the cavalry then left.
Right. You've got, it looks like those
Broads,
2
whatever.
cavalry brigades.
Yeah.
You've got the 1st Brigade under Girardin, and the 2nd Brigade under Bourselot.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
And these guys move 4, right?
Yeah, so
4,
the brush is 4 for cavalry.
12. 4, 8, 12. 4, 8, 12. Okay. And then now I need to move the man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
And now let me look at where Napoleon is. Did Napoleon move?
He shouldn't
I
have.
guess he did.
Because
like he
we
did.
haven't had leader movement yet.
Oh, no, they just pulled it after us. All right.
Oh.
All right, so
Yeah, so if you get the little line thing and draw that.
so if I move him to there.
So 15 hexes would be there.
Okay.
Right?
So does
1,
that
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that's that spot there, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yep. So that works too.
I think that'll put everybody in command.
Yep.
Think so? All right, we'll do that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. You're still within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got Compans. You got Friant, obviously. Desai, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You've got your cavalry leaders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Everybody looks like they're in command.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Yep.
All right, let me take that off and not delete it.
Because you'll make Napoleon mad.
You know, he's such a little baby. Oh, my tummy's hurt. All right, so now I'm moving south to.
Oh, yeah. I guess Nansute was activated.
Nansute.
So
Okay,
Nansute,
so Nansute is here.
Yeah. And so he's got. Who
Guys
does he
south,
got?
basically,
He's
the
got.
fourth cab guys.
Nansute. Boop, 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 boop. I got to try to find him.
These guys.
He's got the 1st Corps, so he's got the 1st Cavalry Corps. So Jacquinot, Pierre, Niewitz, Saint-Germain, Valence. So anyone who's got the little 1C. Yeah, he's got 1st Corps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why
So
did I
he's
think
1C.
The other guys. All right. So all the guys in the front basically. So.
Yep.
All right. You know, I was gonna try to move against your half, and you mean that
but
you moved them away.
I got lucky, and my chit came up before yours.
So what? So here's a question for you.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking.
No.
My thought was to just move them adjacent to you.
Yeah.
And that's it. And then you can reaction move as I move up, I guess, move away.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, my assumption would be then on your turn, if you came after me and you tried move him away, I could opportunity charge you.
You could, but I'm skirmishers, so I can retreat before charge. And I'm Cossacks anyway,
No.
so
Yeah,
I could
if you
always
didn't.
retreat before charge.
No, I'm saying if you didn't. I'm saying, so on my move, my
Right.
AM, I move adjacent to you. And let's say you didn't retreat. You just stayed there for whatever reason.
Oh, okay.
And then on your AM, if you tried to move out of my zone of influence, could I opportunity charge you? And then you couldn't do anything except for receive it.
I don't know. I'm not that familiar with how the rules work, but I mean, it sounds like you could. That would have been the thing to do. I know
Yeah, I
that
mean,
would
if my
work in
player's an
Premiere.
idiot.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Yeah. Okay. Because I'm trying to do some sneaky stuff in concept like that. Okay, so let me go ahead and move the guys up front. We're gonna go down, so that's 2 going down, 3.
So for the cavalry going downhill, I think it
Plus 2, I think.
It's just a regular slope, so it's plus 2
Yeah.
going down slope.
Yeah. 2,
So it'd be
3,
3.
4, 5. Yeah. 2 and 2. 1, 2. Being overly conservative. I mean, these guys all have initiative rolls they can make, right? 3, 4,
Yeah,
5.
yeah. As long as they're not
I'll move one
within
more
range of
6.
the guy, yeah, you can move them further forward.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
Now
your light
go ahead.
cavalry can definitely outstrip the movement of your heavy cavalry. That's the
Yeah.
problem you've got with those heavies.
Yep. So 4, 8, 9, 10.
Mm-hmm.
It's your main. 4, 8. Oh, guy sucks. Okay. And so this is your main. So he just has to be within 3. So he's okay.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So this guy is still in command of Germain because he's within 3.
Yeah. Okay. So that's all the heavy cav in that group. So now I'm going to Valence.
Right.
Oh wait, is there any artillery associated with these guys? 153 might be theirs.
Yeah, you'd have to take a look and see.
Yeah, let me pull
So
it up.
the one that is the 6-7 looks like it's theirs. If there's a 6-7 anywhere, so these guys
1L.
are.
Yeah.
And then who else? The 5-1 and the 5-3 and the 5-4 and the 5-5. So these guys are, and then so they're with these guys are with Valence, and these two guys are with Saint Germain, and then this guy is with
the corps commander.
The corps commander at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's with Breyer or whatever his name is. This guy here.
Yeah.
Breyer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I did that. I'll move this guy to there, and now I'll move to Valence.
Okay.
Three. Is it +1 to go up a hill, or is it
so it's
+2?
+1 to go up a hill, but it costs 4 to move in there, so it costs you 5 to move in there.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
5. Hey, I'm infantry, leave me alone. 5.
Then it would cost you an additional 6 to move there, so that's going to get you up to 11.
Yeah, we'll just hang out there.
Yeah.
4, 8, 9.
It's 2 to go down, so it's 10 actually, right?
Oh, 2 to go down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
4, 8.
Yep.
And I'm gonna move this commander there. 5, 10, 5, 10. I guess that's all those guys.
Okay.
And then I have to move the one dude, right?
Right.
The
You would then
raw
move
core guy.
Nasute to wherever he goes. And Saint Henri is his ADC from the looks of it.
Okay. And we want him to be within 3. That's not happening.
No. He's a core commander. So
he can go
he would
6
be
to his
within
guys.
6. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. So I guess I'll move him to there. 1, 2, 4, 5. That puts everybody in.
Yep.
What about Brew? So I have an extra core commander?
So no, he's not. He is the commander of that artillery.
That's it?
That's it. That's his big
Uh,
command, baby.
Oh man, okay, I'm moving back and slap him in the head.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's all it looks like he's attached to when I was looking at him on the
Yeah,
chart.
no,
I
you're
don't
right.
see anything else. He's with the
kinda
1st
nutty.
Division Légère.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm done.
Okay.
We'll jump back up.
Yep.
And thank you for your guidance.
You're welcome. No additional charge.
I'll win you next week. Consim will win.
Yeah, you buy me a beer.
I'll give you another victory.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Here we go. All right, guys. How's it going?
Good.
Good. We got all the stuff done in almost everything done. So
Hey, Eric, I wanted to just double check, and I know Brennan told me that you got it handled, but did you take into account the movement restrictions by your skirmish zone down here on the old Smolensk Road?
yeah, we did.
Okay, because there's some movement restrictions that way causes.
Yeah, so this guy here, right, when he was here, so when he moved there, it cost him 3 movement points, and then when he moved there, it cost him 4 movement points. So it cost him 7 movement points to go there. Here's the question I have, and I haven't played with skirmish cavalry in Regs, but I know that in Premier and 5th edition, like during the fire phase, I could fire at him and then I could pull away. Is that the case here, or is there some other weird thing that happens?
You just
This one?
Yeah.
This one can't shoot, but it can back away.
No. What? So in the other rule sets, during the quote unquote defensive fire phase, this unit, my skirmisher, would do his 4 to 6 combat roll. It's 1 to 1.5. I roll the dice, whatever result would happen would be applied, and then I could pull back 1 hex. So that way he wouldn't shoot at me during his offensive fire. So I'm wondering, is that the case, or is there some other weird thing that's going on in Regs? I didn't have time to look it up because we were moving other stuff around.
Was cavalry skirmish zone?
I think it's reaction move, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah. And then you get harassing fire against units that retreat through there.
There you go.
Well, and so
that
that's
moves
the
up,
reason I
you can
asked,
move
because
away.
we have
But then
simultaneous fire.
there's the light cavalry skirmish attacks under 12-10-8.
12-10-8.
And it's a factor of 4. Yeah, it'd be a 4-factor skirmish attack against each unit.
During the fire phase, or
During the fire phase. So
Yeah.
that's why I was curious, because we have simultaneous fire in this rule set, while in the others, it's a case of I get defensive fire during his movement phase, right? He moves up, I do defensive fire, and then I pull back, so then I'm out of range when he does his offensive fire. So
Yeah,
that's
right.
why. So what I would need to do is when he moves up to me, I would
Yes.
then move back 1 hex.
Yes.
Okay, so that
Or
way
you
then,
can maintain the, or you can just take the hit. It's not going to be like a big, it's going to be a tiny little fire. They're in column. Can't be that much.
right? I mean, it's going to be well. I mean, it's going to be he's going to be 1 to 2 or whatever it is, right? Because my fire defenses
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
cavalry is 12 in skirmish order.
And if you stay
So,
there, you get all those little skirmish attacks.
well, I would only get 1 skirmish attack because I'm.
With
When you
the
hit a
modifier for high number.
Yeah.
Oh,
He'll do a
okay,
hit. Yeah, you'll
okay.
do a hit.
And it's 1 per. It's not 1 skirmish attack. It's a skirmish attack against every unit in your zone.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but there's only 1 in my zone,
Correct.
right? Because these hexes are
Well, this-
empty, right?
Correct.
But isn't this one?
Nope.
No.
No, he's in the movement influence part of it.
Oh, but it's just these 3
just
hexes.
who's
Or these-
adjacent.
those-
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I totally understand that. Okay. So yeah, you can pull back because he moved within you.
If you wanted to avoid combat, when it moved adjacent, you could take a reaction move where you move up to your movement line.
Right, and that's what I was curious about because as I said, in the other game systems, I get to take like a parting shot and then I pull back. In this
You don't
one,
get
it's a
to
case where I
reaction
choose to
move.
either stay and do my little skirmishy thing, but potentially suffer fire from him, or
Mhm.
I pull back, but I don't get both like I would in Premier or 5th edition. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right.
Okay, cool.
And if you did take the reaction move, he would get opportunity fire.
Why
But
would
that'd
he?
be bad.
Why? Who would get opportunity
He
fire?
moves in, so he moves away, right? As I move in, doesn't he move away for free?
You moved adjacent.
Yeah.
Now you put him in your zone of control. Now he takes his reaction move. He steps out. You shoot.
Right. So
Okay. Can he do it before I move adjacent to him, since I'm 2 hexes
If
away?
he were in line, not skirmish, then he could move at a range of 2.
So for skirmish,
So is it-
I only have I can only react if somebody moves into my Zoc
Yes.
adjacent to me. But if I were in line, then and he'd moved within 2 of me, then I could have pulled back.
Specifically, if you were in line, if he moved into your opportunity charge zone.
Ah,
move
okay.
back.
Okay. So that's how that works.
But if you're in skirmish, you don't have an opportunity charge zone, so it's when it's adjacent.
Right. No, I'll just stay there and
And even if
see
he
what
did move
happens.
now, it'd be half my thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the opportunity.
So it'd be like a
Yeah,
1 to
yeah.
3 shot
Or-
kind of a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, the reaction move is for cavalry when approached by infantry or artillery. If he approached with cavalry, you don't get the reaction move.
Right.
How were you guys dancing away from me? Were you guys? Oh, because you guys were in column.
You mean in Jena?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause
they
you guys
were
would
in that
move
column
one,
of
move
company
one, move
thing.
one. Yeah. Okay.
Retreat before the infantry. That's the same reaction move. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If he wasn't in skirmish, he could retreat when the enemy moves within 2 hexes of him because he'd be in as soon as he enters the charge zone.
Right.
Cool.
So the question that Rick and I had been chatting about was, say in some future turn, Rick moves cavalry up either adjacent or within, I guess, the opportunity charge of his light cavalry. And then I go to move my skirmishers. He could then opportunity charge them.
Yes.
But because I'm Cossacks, I can always retreat before combat. So then do I retreat
But not
before
against
combat?
You can't retreat from an opportunity charge.
Okay, well, that's what I was curious about. So that's what we were discussing. So if that's the case, then they would have to fight or whatever. They wouldn't be able to retreat. So it's only when they charge that they could do that.
Yeah, they rout.
Okay.
The way that Cossacks fight against the way the French cavalry fight against the Cossacks is they're trying to do exactly what you just described. the French cavalry trying to get within 2 and then opportunity charge it. That's how it works. And the way the Cossacks prevent that is they avoid fighting in clear terrain when the French cavalry can reach it. They only fight in the brush because then they can't be charged. The French cav can't charge out of the brush.
Can't charge them
So
in
the
the brush.
Cossacks are safe. The Cossacks are safe to skirmish against the infantry for a couple more turns.
Right.
And then once the French cav breaks out into the open ground, the Cossacks got to skedaddle out of there and hide in the brush.
Right.
Because if the Cossacks are in the clear like this, the French cav will chew them up on opportunity target.
Right. Okay. Good to know. All right. So we're kind of done with that. Are you guys ready to pull the plug on things and hit the save button?
Oh, let's see. I could do maybe one more pull. It's your call.
Well, we did leader movement. I didn't do any leader movement. Rick, did you have any leaders that needed to move?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't
Just
see
2
that
of
we'd
'em.
done leader movement. I think I'm okay for the most part.
You'll want to set Murat for his next potential bot that you want Murat.
There's only 2 more Russian Mews in there.
Kutaisev.
Kutayazov. Kutayazov, the guns are going to be moving back onto Kutayazov. So when shit number 1 comes up, they're going to prolong back. Yeah. So that's how they're going to link up with Kutayazov there. Let's see.
Eric Kutuzov and the icons are moving along the back goat path towards your militia and Cossacks. It'll take them a few more turns to get there.
Okay.
They're
Where
like
is
deep center.
Duca? There's Duca. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay.
The icon.
That's right. The beautiful icon of Smolensk. Okay. Now I don't have anybody else who's really kedging out here, do I? Maybe I could kedge these guys a little bit. One, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll pull them back. Okay, cool. Kedge those militia back. And anybody else needs to kind of do a little kedging out here. Let's see. That's the 26th Division. The 12th Division is there. Where's that? There's the 26th. 26th. Where's... let's move him over here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, the 13th and the 12th, they're all within range. Okay. All right, I think I've got everybody where they need to be. Cool. All right. Are we going to hit the save button and then pick it up next week?
It's fine either way.
Well, I know out on the East Coast, you guys are pushing it rather late. It's like 1,
Oh, exactly.
Yeah,
1 o'clock.
It's 4th of July. I could go another half hour if people want to.
Okay. Then
And I can do 12:15. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and pull another chit. So, Brandon, why don't you go ahead and do the honor? It is French Moo number 8. French Moo number 8. Wherever that
It's
one
in the
is
middle.
hiding.
That's okay. That's Sobier.
Gesundheit.
Yeah. Four.
So go ahead. Are you trying to limber guys up or something?
I'm just checking to make sure they can all, yeah. All right, so he can command that
I'm gonna draw another one.
whole,
All right, we have to wait.
he's commanding all that artillery there.
What is all of that? So these 2 hexes of artillery?
This, and this. It's part of a special rule.
Is that in the Moscow one, or is that a Regs one?
And the Moscow one.
Okay,
That's
cool.
Let's see.
I'm curious. I'm gonna look. French. They can do anything they want.
Exactly.
So I mean, he's a leader of special ability.
Right.
So is it a grand battery? Is that what you're saying?
No, there's
So it says here, artillery leaders of special ability at the usual cost of 1 command point form a MOO consisting of all artillery batteries, regardless of higher unit affiliations, within a span of 3 hexes.
right.
That is, the artillery leader has a command span of 3 hexes.
Yeah. So
right?
that's what he's doing. These are all within 3 of.
Yeah. Cool.
That's a 1 to 4. Okay.
What rule is that, Eric?
So that's in the Moscow special rules. It was, I think, on page. It's 6.1. Yeah, for grand batteries, 6.1.
So the only one that needs to roll is this guy here, because he's out of range of Soviet. He's not adjacent.
Well, no, wouldn't they all have to roll?
No, if you're next to.
I mean, they're part of his command, but
if you're on or adjacent to the one that's special, you don't have. He extends his +2.
Oh, where's that?
That's in the regular rules.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, under leaders or under artillery, or what are we looking at?
That will be.
Leaders of special abilities on 18.5.1. I don't know if that's there though.
Artillery leaders. That's about firing.
So maybe I'll look up limbering now.
Yeah, it would probably be under limbering or unlimbering or something like that, right?
Limbering rules are in 18.2.
Okay, well, at least don't have to go very far.
I don't see anything under limbering.
Yeah, I don't see anything under limbering either.
Let's see, what else could it be under? Morale, maybe?
No, you're not really making a morale check.
The way we have typically played for years, leader support for limbering is like a leader starts on one stack of batteries, and because he's there, those batteries have his help, and they try to limber, and assuming they do, they move off. If they don't, they prolong. And then in the next move, the leader moves to an adjacent hex, helps another set of batteries limber, and then they move together at that point.
Right.
I don't recall of leader, like you can get two adjacent stacks to be helped that way.
Yeah, but yeah, it doesn't look like there's like
I'm
a
not sure
zone
that
or
they just
anything
have a
like that.
limbering zone.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've seen it, but it could be a Regs 30.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. That would be
Well,
cool, but
the firing applies to that, and
Mhm.
you know, he's a grand battery there. You know, he should be commanding his whole battery. His influence is on all.
right. So
You know,
so he's commanding them. That's one thing. It's
But he's barking out orders on how to put that thing, put the wheels back on it is a different thing.
yeah. Yeah.
and as Brandon said, that's the way we have already played it. I
Right.
mean,
So
you know,
so you could use him to limber the battery that he's with, and then he could move to one and
Yes.
then limber that. But he couldn't limber more than two. He just limber the one hex that he's in, and then the hex that he moves into. And then everybody else has got to roll just like they usually do.
Then if you want a limber bonus for the additional ones, you can put small artillery leaders on the other guys.
yeah,
They
and
give you a helpful heavy one.
I've got another guy down there on that, or I've actually got
Yeah, you got like
Oh,
three
I've
leaders
got-
over there, so
yeah,
there's
so
no
this
shortage
one
of
can-
people.
yeah. So,
I don't know where the limber chart is anyway here with all this stuff. Oof.
yeah, you'll move. Oops,
So
that was
so go ahead and move the one that he's with.
all right. These three batteries, in these two hexes, they
Yep.
will limber with him.
Okay.
Well, no, they limber with him because they're stacked with him. Then that one moves. Then the leader moves to the other stack, and because he's
Yeah.
now stacked with the other one, they can move in concert if he is successful in limbering them. But he doesn't do it simultaneously because
Yeah.
he's stacked with them both.
Yeah, so go ahead and move the stack that he's with first. Move it wherever you want to put it, and then move him to the adjacent hex. Limber those guns, and then move them wherever you want them to, and then roll for the other guys as they do their little magic. I still
I
haven't
think limbering's
found,
in
I
the
still haven't
Moscow
found the.
rules. It's just in Moscow, isn't it?
It should be, but I can't find it in any of the charts. Artillery.
What are you looking
here
for?
It is. It's on page 4 of 4. So a leader with special ability is -2. So for the guard or horse guard, it's automatic. For line foot, but the -2 is going to help. But then anybody else is just going to be a -1. So there's a possibility, I guess, with some of the guys that they could fail.
So, all right. This is going to be automatic.
Right.
That
So
one's going to be automatic. And
right.
then when
So
you move,
so
that
go
one's
ahead.
gonna be
And,
automatic.
right. So David. Right. Sobier is here, and he's stacked
Actually,
with.
I'm not even going to limber. Never, because it's. I'm just going to move forward.
Okay.
Because the big ones only move 5 anyways, and all right, so
Well, you don't have to unlimber.
true. But
Unless you're expecting some sort of massive Russian charge all of a sudden.
Matt, who
Which
knows?
is quite
I'm
improbable.
not on that side, so you're good.
Historically, the French batteries in that section of the battlefield had been deployed the night before, pretty much where they are. And what the French found when dawn came was they were too far away and they had to crawl forward. So they spent the whole first 2 hours of the battle doing exactly what's going on here. It's very historical.
Mm-hmm.
I know that.
Agreed. I think I read that before as well.
It's also a fairly good example of why the fleshes in the game are pretty difficult to hold, because once that artillery goes a little bit further forward, the fleshes are pretty much smashed.
Mm-hmm. And if you try to defend the
you can
fletches,
hold
then you
them.
got to unwind the fletches, and that takes a lot of MUs. I get it.
Exactly. Yeah.
That we needed to
give up
use
a lot.
elsewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can fight there, but it's a painful one that tips to the French advantage because of all that artillery there.
Yeah, I think I started to get it. It's the inability to control all this. Although David brings up an interesting point, and that is that you can use an artillery of special ability to move 6 pieces. Pretty well, no, you can move like 12 pieces of artillery. I don't know what a 3-hex radius number of hexes is, but it's a lot of artillery that could conceivably be moved by 1 leader,
Yeah,
irrespective of.
The fundamental reason why the fleshes are difficult to hold against artillery is geometric, which is that on the fleshes, there's really only space width enough to fit at most 3 or 4 Russian batteries shooting back. And the French can line up because they have a wider zone. They have like the base of the triangle shooting on the fleshes. The French are going to get 3 or 4 to 1 outnumber in artillery, and they win the counter battery duel.
David, you're number 11.
I'm number 11.
I think you're 11, right?
That's this cavalry over here, it looks like.
Yeah.
Eric, you want to pull the next one?
Sure. Live on the edge. It's number 4 for the Ruski Ducks. I think that's yours, Brennan.
Yeah, that's Tolstoy up by Gorky.
Tolstoy. Write us a nice short story.
Maybe it was like his uncle or something.
I think you can make your students play Regs 30 and tell them there's going to be a quiz on the rules.
You know, I got a lot of blank stares just from the Albuera 1811 game, so I'm like, no, they would have a fit. We did play on I have a copy of the Friedland map for La Bataille de Friedland that is laminated. And so we set up that map with command and colors pieces. And for the last 2 Fridays, we've played a very light version of La Bataille, where the French move, fire, and then you have assaults, you have defensive fire, and then you have whatever the result of the attack is. And then the Allies do it. So there's no disorder, there's no rout. Depending on what you roll, it's just a single 6-sided die. The units either retreat or they are eliminated. So the kids have really been loving that. So the one thing I was thinking to do is I've got a first edition copy of Mont Saint Jean. I thought, maybe I'd go down and get that laminated, and then we could play to kind of finish up the 3-week session, have them play this game on Friday where it's Waterloo, and see how they like that. So I'll see.
Didn't Eric, we have like a card game, a Napoleonic card game?
We do. We've got that one. I think Compass is still printing it. But yeah, we've got that.
I can't remember if the rules were.
Yeah, I mean it's what I did was I basically printed out cards, and we kind of played a left, right, center type of a thing where they had, some infantry, some cavalry, and some artillery. That was in the first couple of days of the class. So we talked about that. We played Enemy in Sight. I think we played that for like 2 or 3 days. The kids like that. And then, as I said, we'll be playing Diplomacy to kind of wrap things up. So they should all hate each other by the end of the session.
Yeah, I sent you a link for Napoleonic Wars. That's pretty fun. It's more of a operational type game. It's pretty light. And you use cards and stuff.
Okay, that would be
And I
good. Yeah,
can
because I was trying to
loan
find
that to you if you want.
Okay.
Although you might be able to get it at Consim on the stupid flea
Oh,
market.
yeah.
there
If
for cheap,
somebody's
you
got
know,
it
so-
there at the
Yeah,
flea market or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
But
because
it's
I was
pretty
trying to
fun.
come up with something that we played Quartermaster General in the Second World War class, and that was really good. That's card-driven type of stuff, and that was good because we could have a 6-player game. So I was trying
Yeah.
to see if there was some equivalent on the Napoleonic universe, and I looked at coalitions, and I don't know that would work. And some of the others that we've played, it's basically a 2-player game.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find another big sort of team game the kids could play. So
Yeah, this is 2
Napoleonic
to 5
Wars.
players.
Oh, okay.
It's area move, but I hate using the word area movement, but it's like dot to dot sort of thing. So a big circle, and it has links, and you can move
It's
your
the same
army
thing as an
down
area.
that. Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Okay.
I actually came in first place one year in a tournament, so it's kind of cool.
All right. Well, and I can get the school to buy it for me, so that's always good. I need 3 copies since I usually have 14 to 15 kids in the class.
Yeah, and there's some politics in it, but
Okay.
like you have I think it's the Prussians. They can go either way. They can join the French side or they can join the other side,
Huh.
which is kind of interesting.
That can be fun. They could bribe each other.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I'll take a look at that
Have
and
you
see.
seen-
That might be a good one for next year.
Have you seen Napoleonic Saga? That's interesting.
I have not. I've heard of it, but I have not seen it up close and personal.
Yeah, the game I played where I won as the Brits. Napoleon landed in England, and then I just destroyed the fleet, so he couldn't get off. And I just sat there, eventually killed him. It's like, what are you doing? So yeah, it's pretty fun. It has a little more depth, but it's not too much.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've got the youngest kids I've got are like 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the kids are around 10 or 11. And I've got a few older kids that are like 13. So it's, I've got to kind of keep it light enough that they can handle it. But the game that I'm really enjoying is it's called Blitzkrieg World War II in 20 minutes. And I'm going to bring it out to Consim. It is just a phenomenal game. It's basically you're pulling chit from the bag, and and it represents an army, a navy, air force, whatever, and then you're playing it. And I kid you not, in 20 minutes you've either won or lost to the Axis kind of stuff. But it's really good. It really kind of covers a lot. And I thought, okay, I could adapt this to Napoleonic.
Mm-hmm.
So
We're gonna pull another one.
Is 4 done?
Or
Well, whether
Pretty
they are
much.
not.
You can throw it on.
Oh, number
Next
one.
one
Okay,
is
so
1.
that's me. All right, so that's my little core down here. So we can talk less and move more. All right, so we're going to prolong these guns back. That shouldn't be a big mystery to anybody. All right, the 27th Division. Most of those guys are holding the dirt there. So we're going to pull them back. And let's see here. Those guys are part of the 2nd Grenadiers. We'll take those guys out. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get them back there. All right. And this guy. let's go ahead and we'll leave our beautiful commander here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And those guys are my skirmishers. Put those guys there. And all right, so
The Vassal module you recommended I download, is that on Discord or is it on the actual Vassal modules?
Oh, no, it's there's a link on Discord in the chat.
Okay, let me go look. In the lobby?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you.
I'll go with you.
I'm gonna see if I can just do it from, I can just do it from here. Google Drive.
Oh, he went up to the
went up
lobby.
there.
huh. Who is the leader for the 28th? I don't have a 28th. Who do these guys belong to then?
Which unit?
Oh, the 2nd Grenadiers. Okay, so they're part of the 2nd Grenadiers. I'm like, who are these guys? What are they doing out here? All right, cool.
You done?
Oh, no, not even close.
Oh.
I've got 5,000 more things to do. So.
Yeah, Russian 4 is done.
Awesome, thank you.
All right.
Artillery's next, so start thinking about your shots. For those of you that have them.
Oh, we drew again?
Yes.
Oh. Artillery.
Do you guys think that the ricochet rules, as far as minus X every hex, is a bit severe? I mean, how much does it really slow down a cannonball going through somebody's head?
Well, it is
I read some
bouncing
stuff on
across
it.
the dirt.
What I read was 80% of the shells would carry.
Really?
Disperses the fire. It's like
And they didn't really stop when they hit anything.
There's some really interesting historical writing about sieges of forts in the 18th century and Napoleonic period, and what the attackers would do, like Vauban and those guys, there would be a bastion sticking out of a star fort. The bastion, of course, it had guns along the angles of the bastion, but they would set up the batteries and they would crossfire them. and they would intentionally skip the cannonballs right along the rampart.
Wow.
And it became impossible for the bastions to be held. Once the attacking batteries were set up in a semicircle at like 1,000-yard range, they would very accurately skip shot right directly along the ramparts. So I think it's pretty accurate.
Shall we take a couple shots at each other?
Yeah.
Rick?
Sure.
Okay. I've got a
Yeah, it's up
A
to you guys if you
9.
want to wait till Eric's done, but
2,
go ahead.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now I got everybody more or less where they need to be.
Hey, Mitch,
Yep.
just quickly, when you fire Barclay and also your northern Grand Battery,
yes.
you're going to want to crossfire them. So you don't shoot at the guy in front of you, you shoot at the guy across, angled off.
Oh, I see. You haven't pointed towards the centers.
Barclay fires not here, he fires here.
Yeah, he's gonna fire there. He's gonna get a ricochet of it here.
battery, but this battery fires here. You see how they're cross-firing that way?
Yeah.
And the reason, yeah, exactly. The reason is that northern battery, it won't be able to hit this guy, but it will be able to hit this guy.
Right on.
Because the northern guy gets pinched by your own skirmisher and unit. So they're designed to fire in a crossfire, not direct.
Okay. So these guys here are gonna hammer here.
Yeah,
This guy is gonna hammer here.
right.
Okay.
Well, guess what? We're gonna hammer. Go ahead, get him, get him.
Hit this, right? Watch the balls bounce off our mounds of dirt.
There you go.
Poof.
Simultaneous. Go shoot. Roll some dice.
Just roll dice and check the situation later.
Well, we don't have to declare all shots, or do we?
Yeah,
You declare all shots?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
What
all
are we doing?
simultaneous, right?
Yeah.
I think we fire one after. I think I fire one, then you fire one.
Okay,
Yeah, I
cool.
think there's an alternating sort of order to it all.
Yeah, we would just start at one end and take care
That's
of them as
fine.
we go along. So
Well, I'm just looking here, so I mean these two are the only ones. These can't fire any longer. But these two.
Yeah, we're gonna fire at each other and see what happens.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'd
5,
take and fire at that.
8, 9, 10, 11.
14 to 16, it's 1 to 1.5. So roll a 65.
Roll 65. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do
Or
that one then.
66,
Are you taking that advice and you're firing here with this unit or these two units?
That seems like the other ones are out of one of them's out of range. So
Okay. This guy can do a grand battery, so he can control both these. So.
Yep.
yeah, that seems to be the best one.
So here,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that one's the only one that's really in range.
so 14 to 1 to 1.5. As
Yeah, 1 to 1.5 with a +3. All right, here we go. 16. Nope, no
All right.
60s there, Dave.
do your ammo. All right, I'd like to start with this one down here, Barclay,
The dog.
and he's a 9 here. So is it 1 to 2?
1 to 2. Yep.
And I have a +3. Is it a 5?
5.
Yep.
So disgusting.
Oh, that ain't gonna get the job done. But I do have 1 ricochet into the following X.
And that would be with a -6?
Yeah, but I might get some, but the
No.
defense isn't so good.
You don't have it into here.
Yeah, I do.
It's out of range. Out of range.
Out of range.
Would it be?
No, this is 12.
At 13.
Let me count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Oh, it is 13.
11, 12. You are correct. Okay. All right. These guns here on this one. I've got 27. Against.
1.5 to 1.
All right. And I'm let's see what I got leader wise. I got a,
You got Euler 3 +3.
all right. Oh, that's a big one.
That's definitely a hit.
Yeah.
1 hit.
Mm.
Do they
But
make
no
a morale
explosion?
check? No, I think you need a 65 or 66 for an explosion, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
But it would be a morale
Right.
check for a hit, right?
Oh, okay. So
just go ahead and
plus-
roll. You'll have a +3 for Lorison. So yeah, they're happy.
That's what I should have rolled before.
Yeah.
Wait, let me cut and paste here.
Now
Mitch, you
that
can
one does
mark
have
the
a
ammo.
follow through, but there's no, I think, or there's nothing to follow through into.
There's nope. There's nobody to follow through on.
Go after the mood shit.
All right, are we done?
Oh,
throwing
we're suggesting, I
cannonballs
got one
around?
more shot. I got one more shot on this one here, and I think it's the 5-7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, here we go. 5 to something. Let's see if it's even worth looking at.
It's 5 to 6.
44. And then the follow through, I think is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's see what happens. 45. Nope.
Okay, take your.
Mark your ammo.
I did.
So-
I don't see any ammo.
Oh, I haven't done that yet. I'm so sorry. I did the other one yet.
I can
So
help
if you
with
look
that.
at page 18.6, counter battery firer, there's something happens for a roll of 61 through 66.
Oh,
So
that's when
maybe
you
we
play with
lose
heavy.
some. So maybe we lose some additional ammo.
I think that's,
No, that's if we had ammunition wagons and like the ammunition wagon got hit, then you would roll for losing ammunition, right? But we're not playing
Right.
with the wagons, so we're
Yeah.
only having counter battery fire where a 65 or 66 will destroy the battery.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah,
like,
next game, let's talk about that because I think I would be okay with it still reducing your ammo in this case because the wagon's assumed to be with it.
well, no, they're actually in a
on.
different hex. It would be in a different hex.
Okay.
You'd be
Yeah,
targeting.
carry on.
You'd actually be targeting the ammunition wagon separately.
Right.
Poor
So that
Laura.
would be like a ricochet roll would roll into the ammunition wagon, and then if you rolled a 61 through 65,
66. Okay.
or 61,
But presumably
61
that
through
wagon would be
66.
several
Okay.
hexes back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on.
feel sorry for Lariston. Like he's had cannons blowing up all around him.
12's moving.
Yes. So move French move 12
on,
got
okay.
pulled.
Excuse me 1 second. I'll
Sure.
be back in 1 second.
I'm not sure who that is.
It's probably
Yeah.
David.
That's me.
Ah, okay. Where's that at, David?
Oh, Brennan, another gun out of the game.
There you go. Yep.
Barclay is just shooting it off, lights out.
Good
Cannons
shot.
are
Yep.
hot.
Yeah, the Russian artillery is very strong.
French 6 is next.
That's Dave. That's, I think, Junot. Yeah,
Yep.
Junot.
I just been drawing. If somebody else wants to draw, go for it.
Robert, that's you.
Okay, he had to go step out.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
What's going on now?
So
6.
Juno got pulled. Number 6. Moon number 6.
Oh, let's do Juno next time. That's a lot of stuff to move, so
Okay.
Okay.
let's just wait till next time.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta get up at 6 tomorrow. So.
Yeah, I got to get up at 5 tomorrow. So.
Oh yeah, I have to get up at 4:30.
I know that you don't get up at 4:30, Rick.
This
No,
is
I-
great. Thanks, you guys. I love it. This is great. It's
Yeah.
fun.
This is so much fun. Thanks for including me.
Yeah, it's really great.
Glad you could make it.
Oh, this is cool as could be.
Yeah, this
All
is,
hell is about to break loose.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I love how we have this little we're touching in Borodino.
Yes, it is just the slight precipitation of lead.
So this is the 7 o'clock.
This is part 1 of
turn,
7
part 2?
a.m. Yeah. So no, this is the first 7 a.m. phase. Then we'll pick up part 2 of 7 a.m. tomorrow.
Yep.
Or I mean, next time we get together.
Tomorrow? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're teasing me.
We got through 19 shits tonight. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and it's getting more complicated, so it's great.
Yeah. Good job. It's so much fun, everybody. Thank you.
That's great. Well, thank you guys for staying late. I know it's really late for you all.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
definitely appreciate it.
I'm just a college kid, so don't worry about it.